Here we come back for our second day of sun and fun.
It's not made through Garmin. This is all Rockwell Collins. We've got 2 embedded GPSs that then talk to a inertial navigation unit, and then they merge the 2. So GPSs are really good with, hey, here.
I think this is a medic. Yeah, it's a medic helicopter.
Yeah.
Hello.
How far away? It looks real.
I know, it scared a couple people already. So, but it's definitely not.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a dude laying down.
It'd be a pretty sweet gig. You're just like laying there.
No, we're allowed to.
You're gonna get one there?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Okay.
Let's take my video.
He is playing.
That's the way to do it.
Look at you doing, Brian.
Sure.
What you doing? You gonna fly it?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, you want to show all the gadgets up there?
Take pictures as many as you want
Yeah.
to get at it.
So yeah, there's a controller and all the instruments. A lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. There, press that white button or take my picture.
Oh, you want to take a picture? Alright, we're going to take a picture. Boop. Okay.
Alright. Alright, I'm done in here. Alright.
There's a lot more to go. Here.
Here we are in line now to tour of the KC-135 Stratotanker.
A lot of our trips around with
This is based out of MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, so they didn't have to fly far to get here.
They've got their data connection. It goes in, you prepare the grounds here to receive 1 million people in the course of the week for the Sun and Fun Airshow. If you've ever
Yeah, there goes Prime Air taking off.
The 7th day is usually our highest day for new inquiries for recruits. Everybody's kind of almost to the point of tired of it. But if you're thinking,
see, we're going inside the KC-135R Stratotanker.
We have parking lot parkers that we need security personnel. We even have
Here's what it looks like inside one of those planes.
International booth for ventilation.
I know.
I've never flown inside one of these.
So yeah, like See, these are the kind of seats they have in the military. Yeah, they don't have to build them to civilian grade, so.
They have pallet seats that they can slide in.
No.
They look like airplane seats.
Oh, okay.
They're not very big, but
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now they don't have to build it to airline standards for the military.
generally much smaller.
Right. Let's go in the front. Oh, it's good. There's a shorter line for the front, so I'm going to the front. I'll go to the front first.
Safety as well as safety for our aircraft owners, our pilots, and our attendees. So if you're thinking about being a volunteer for Sun and Fun, by all means, get on sunandfun.org, look us up, go to the volunteer section, fill out the form, and someone will be back in touch with you before next year to get you on our volunteer team. I guarantee you, you'll get free camping, you'll get an armband for the week for your volunteering. The only thing we ask for the armband and the free camping and the free lunch.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Come on in. You can come all the way towards the straps here. What's going on?
Not much.
Come on in. Get a couple more in, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of controls here.
You guys want to come in?
A lot of stuff up here.
Yeah, come on. We can fit a few more in. Have you guys been to the back yet?
No,
Okay.
we're up there next.
The back is where we do our primary mission, air refueling. So we're just a big gas station in the sky. We can also convert the cargo area to a mobile hospital with our Aeromed techs and their equipment we can strap in here. Or we could just carry boxes and people. So we can carry about 50 folks in the back. We carry 200,000 pounds of gas. If we keep that for ourselves, we can basically go about 18 hours. So we can get pretty much anywhere you want to go. This particular jet was made in 1958.
Wow.
Largely unchanged other than the screens there. All of these KC-135s are made between 57 and 63. And we're expecting to keep flying with aircraft 30 plus years.
Wow.
So it's an oldie but a goodie. We got physical cables that run from the control column, cables and pulleys all the way back to the tail and wings. So it's real fly-by cable wire instead of like the new jets that are all electric fly-by wire. You guys have any questions about anything?
No.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the second one's going to be squished down.
Okay, these are oxygen tanks here at the yellow.
And then, yeah, so I lay in the middle. There's usually three of us. I'm back here. The two pilots are up front. And so we have a set time that we give the gas. So about 20 minutes early, I come back and I raise that up and we start giving gas.
Hello. So yeah, this is how they refuel planes from in the air. The controls for the boom are back here.
Yep.
I got a control right here.
Yeah, so this one's extend and retract of the boom. This one here with the red button.
Okay.
And then on the other side, if she would put her right hand towards the floor, that's how we fly it up, down, left, right.
Okay.
And then these are just gauges that tell me how I'm aligned with the receiver plane we're giving the fuel to. And yeah, while we're hooked up, I have to go with them. If they go left, right, in, out, I'm just constantly following them with the boom. That way, if I need to retract out of them for safety reasons or once they have their fuel, I can do that in a moment's notice.
Awesome.
And yeah, and it's a little difficult to see out right now. The panel out the window, that flips up. So when it's time for gas, it looks like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have a fully unrestricted view of everything I need to see.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
Unless it would be hard to see with it like that.
Yeah, and for a big plane like that C-130, I might give them fuel for 10 or 15 minutes. A fighter jet would just be 2 or 3 minutes, and then whatever that plane or their job is, they can go back to doing their work, and we just keep flying around seeing if anyone else needs gas.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay.
But we have some pilots up front that has the fuel panel, because that's also a big part of this. The fuel has to be transferred around.
Right.
So they can show you the fuel panel up front.
Yeah, we already went up front.
Up there.
Yeah, and then we have a few crew chiefs that if you have any questions about the maintenance and whatnot,
Okay.
they can help you with that. And I do appreciate that shirt because Back to the Future is the greatest movie of all time.
Oh yes.
And so the fact that you have the Sun and Fun Back to the Future shirt makes me
Oh,
really
yeah.
happy.
This was the 2021 shirt.
Yeah. So once he slides out, then you can step over
All right.
this way.
Oh, thank you. That was very interesting and informative.
We'll see you next year.
All right, thank you. Yeah, oh yeah, I'll be here next. Here.
I will. I got it.
All right, now we're looking at a C-17. We're gonna go take a tour of that now.
If you'd like to support the group, feel free to look them up online. I got several hits. They've got a
Now
Facebook
we're
page,
going
the whole
into the
thing.
C-17.
It's a Veterans Tribute Flight from Bartow, Florida. That's the facts we're passing by now with smoke on, making us climb to 800. Right clear to continue to 1,000 feet and down the backside.
Look at this. See, these planes are huge. Like, they can haul tanks and stuff like that in here. I think they can even fit helicopters in here. All right, yeah, we're gonna wait in line to go see the cockpit. All right, we are now going up into the flight deck of the C-17. Yeah.
But I like them.
Are y'all all together?
No, I'm alone.
Take all the pictures you want, man.
There's like all kinds of controls here.
Oh, jeez. Look at these buttons on the side.
These are circuit breakers. Yeah.
Nice. I boarded the KC-135 and they said that it can be easier and harder to fly than modern planes. This is 1951, right?
This is your
2000, okay. And they said that the pre-flight should check with this.
It's like a resting spot for the crew. Right there, like a little beds for them to sleep on. Wait, would you drop? Yeah, there's a Air Force plane here. We're gonna go take a look at that here now. So yeah, now we're in the cargo area of this Air Force plane. Looks like a C-130, but I'm not entirely sure. I think that's what it is.
That's cool.
Right now, go.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Hello.
Welcome, welcome. That seat's
Hello.
pretty comfortable if you take a seat.
Is it? All right.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Here. All right, man. We get to sit in the pilot seats. There, see, there's the yoke, all the controls. There, I'm taking your picture. There, I'm taking my picture. That button down there. Yeah, we just sit in this. See, there's the throttles and all the other stuff. Yeah, you
My neck.
know what you're doing to fly these things.
So,
I see all the yoke is locked, so. Alright.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just swap right.
Side pushing already. And Greg's going to tell us about aerobatics and how we do this. Howdy, Greg.
Howdy, howdy. Yeah, we're getting ready to just kind of show off this brand spanking new American Champion Super Decathlon. I think it has about 11 hours on it total done. So we're just going to play around with it, kind of show you what this airplane can do and how much fun they are.
You enjoy this so much, don't you?
Well, you know, I used to have to work for a living, and this is a whole lot better.
So many people talk about your mentorship and how important it is to know these maneuvers.
Well, I think anybody ought to be able to do some aerobatics. You're up here in the sky where
11 hours on it. All right, my friend, let's begin.
Come in and start out with a little lash, or snap on top of the loop and call. Just get her going. I got more than enough speed. Here we go. Nice 14 pull up. Hop it into it. I load it again. Let it go right nice and smooth. And that's the whole thing right there. Coming out of that into a hammerhead. There's the hammerhead coming back in. Make sure when you get there, you can get a release. I'm going to do a great big old loop with a slow roll at the top this time. It's to show off how well this airplane really does the roll at slow speeds with the gear elbow. American Champion, here we go. American Champion has upgraded this airplane as the years go by. And this is one of the greatest upgrades I like. As the newer style ailerons, they do a real fine job for the airplane, especially at slow speed. Here we go, Vertical. That's going to half roll out on the way out. And just bend over like this on the way down. And coming back here. Now, I think I'll do another Omni. This time it'll be push it instead of pull it. So here we go, straight up. Another quarter roll this time. And we'll just push it over here at the top, let it fall over. Yeah, man, that looks about this.
Well, that's the lightest you've been in a while, huh?
Wait a minute, I get that. All right. Yes, sir. Here we come back around. Everybody's left. Just still having fun. If you're not having fun, don't worry about it. I'm having it for you. All right. Coming down. I'm going to go down here with three things and then do a Q&A. Nice big one. Oh, yeah. I did the other half of it. Boy, this early spring air is good flying weather. Really is. It's fighting really nice. Feels good.
You make it look so easy, my friend.
Well, I tell you what, it's fun. Okay, here we go. Let's get a hammerhead around there. We call it what my favorite maneuver is. Taking two, coming right off the deck, flipping over like this, and looking at the ground and going, oh no, can I pull out? It's just a hoot. It's a rush. Because if you keep climbing the propeller up, you're only going to end up on the way down. So it's not that big a deal. But it's fun, and that's what I like about it.
It's all important about the numbers too, right? Making sure you got the speed. You're always looking at that.
Yeah, it's about energy. Managing your energy well. You can have too much. You can have, obviously, you can have too little, and you don't want to do that. But yeah, having the right engine speed makes the whole thing come out just right. Okay, let's climb a little bit, and we'll get to the next segment. I'm going to show off some of my favorite things to do in the airplane. I got more hammerheads and hoppies, loops. I'm going to try to make this airplane tumble like all them extras do, or whatever. They won't
scare me when you talk about surprises. And I didn't miss the thing about the tumbling. Really?
Yeah, you know, it's just, well, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, comes down in front of everybody. Got a nice crowd out here today. Okay, up we go. We're going to pick up a quarter roll the way up. This is going to be a Humpty with a surprise. I'm going to stop it, flop it over, and then surprise! Oh, man.
Uh-oh. Oh, here we go.
If you guys notice, I do like showing off the vertical fluency of this just 180 horsepower. But yeah, it's going to have good vertical, a lot of fun. And let's just do the old-fashioned loop-to-loop.
These classic maneuvers, and he does them so well.
And hammerhead. Love them. I tell you, I just love them. All right. Now let's try the Decathlon style tumble. Or not a tumble. Or call it whatever you want. Here we go. Just feel me now. And here we go.
I'll be damned. It actually tumbled.
They do it too fast, but yeah, that kind of worked, didn't it? I like it. All right, let's come back and do these roll. Well, I got to show off the way to roll is even just a little trainer like this. It's pretty good. So, I can go
6 seconds. They have a fleet of about 90 airplanes now. And off prime air goes. No doubt something else my wife has ordered while I'm away. I always find these things when I get home. It's like it's a mystery.
Hopefully US Airplane has done it before you arrive back home.
Off they go. Patty Wagstaff starting in front. And smoke is on a minute.
Jive is a retired United States Air Force Lieutenant Colonel and indeed a fighter pilot. He currently lives on his own private airport called Fly Airport in Lake Wales, Florida. He's originally from Lancaster, Missouri. But Jive, he was bitten by that aviation bug at a very early age. Like many of the young kids here, his dad and mom took him to a county fair, actually, where he took a ride in a Cessna 132. It was Jive's first time in an airplane, and he had never forgotten how when he was high above, just like he is right now, but maybe straight and level, those cars down below looked like little ants along the highway. Now that next summer, when Jive was only 11, his dad decided he needed to see a real air show, and that's when he took him to see the United States Air Force Thuderbirds fly. And it was at that air show that Jive knew that not only did he want to be a pilot, he wanted to grow up and be a fighter pilot. To achieve his dreams, Jive started flying lessons when he was 15. And on his 16th birthday, Jive planned to get his driver's license and then drive himself to the airport for the very first time. But unfortunately, things didn't always work out that way. Jive actually flunked his driver's license test, but his mother said, "Get in this car, let's go to the airport, you are going to have a win today." And indeed, he successfully solo for the first time. And to this day, Jive prefers being in the air than he does being on the ground. Now, right after high school, Jive went on to the Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology's professional pilot training program. It gave him what he needed to go work as a chartered cargo pilot while earning his bachelor's degree in aviation from the University of Louisiana at Monroe. Now remember, his dream wasn't to be a chartered cargo pilot, it was to go to the Air Force and be a fighter pilot. Well, upon graduation from the United States Air Force, they knew about this young man who already had a great number of hours under his belt. 4,400 hours of flight time in 1984, 40 years ago, at the former Air Force Base, Reese Air Force Base in Lubbock, Texas. He graduated at the very tip top of his class, and he was given the opportunity to fly the mighty F-15C Eagle. In over 20 years of flying the Eagle, Jive amassed 3,400 hours in the F-15C single-seat fighter throughout his Air Force career. In 1991, he actually graduated from the prestigious United States Air Force Fighter Weapons School at Nellis Air Force Base, home of the fighter pilot and home of the US Air Force Thuderbirds in Las Vegas, Nevada. That is also the top gun of the Air Force. Jive's final assignment in the Air Force is what brought him to the airshow industry. He was the commander of the 82nd Aerial Target Squadron at Kendall Air Force Base in Panama City, Florida. We do want to give a shout out to Tim Davis, who's still on the ramp this weekend with the F-16s from Kendall. He was part of Jive's crew with the F-4 that Jive got onto the airshow circuit and was a Heritage Flight pilot in the United States Air Force Heritage Flight program. Now, upon his retirement in 2006, Jive received his civilian type rating in the F-4, and he is one of only 2 current civilian pilots with a waiver to perform in the F-4. Jive currently has over 16,000 hours of flight time in over 60 different aircraft, including the T-28 you see him flying today, the T-33, the L-39, the MS-760 MB-339, MiG-17, F-4 Phantom, A-4 Skyhawk, F-1 Mirage, and of course, our personal aircraft, the RV-8A we call Wild Blue. Now, a little bit about this airplane that he's flying. The T-28 is celebrating 75 years in the air. It did its first test flight in 1949. It was built to replace the T-6 Texan, what you saw the Titan aerobatic team fly this week. That was the military's primary 2-seat trainer for both the United States Air Force and the U.S. Navy with Marines detached. It's a piston engine military trainer used by all of our forces as well as some of our friends throughout the world. It was produced from the 1950s, and then finally it was taken out of commission in the 1980s. The T-28 Trojan was the next generation trainer post-World War II for the US Air Force and Navy. It not only served as a trainer, but also a combat aircraft. It is used for light attack, used to teach advanced flight maneuvers, like Jive has been demonstrating here, as well as formation flying, the aerobatics, instrument flying, ground attack missions, and aircraft carrier operations. Several of our team members on Trojan Thunder have the models with the tailhook, and those were used by the Navy. This was manufactured by the North American Aviation Corporation from 1949 through 1957. Trojan's B, C, and D models are all powered by one single 1,425 horsepower Curtiss-Wright 9-cylinder radial engine, which, by the way, is the same basic engine that powered the World War II mighty B-17 Flying Fortress. Now it does get to max speed of 343 miles per hour with that big radial engine on front. As I mentioned, some of our friends have used the T-28, including the Republic of Vietnam Air Force and the French Air Force, especially during the Vietnam War. It saw extensive combat service in Southeast Asia, serving as the first U.S. Flown Strike aircraft on December 6, 1961. It continued in theater, flown by Laotian, Thai, and South Vietnamese pilots throughout that war in counterinsurgency and interdiction roles. And they were all typed by United States Air Force pilots, particularly at Keesler Air Force Base.
And in their day, these pilots were the NASCAR drivers of the day. They were international stars. They really were. They were recognized wherever they went. The golden era of air racing. Mr. Mulligan, and what a passion it is for Doug Rosenthal, who has so many hours on it, so many vintage aircraft and warbirds, and such a passion.
The airplane you see here today is a very accurate replica of the original Mr. Mulligan built over 40 years ago by brothers Jim and Bob Huntington, Springfield, Arkansas.
Wings, stocky, muscle build, with an 800 horsepower radial engine on that thing too. It's just huge. And of course, it's built to take the keys at the time for those turns, heading around the track. What a treat to recreate that again here at Southern Fun. David Martin, with an airplane, will tell you more about that yellow biplane you see with the Swiss markings on it. More coming up, and here comes a beautiful pass now from Doug and Mr. Mulligan. So a big proponent of the red tail exhibit that's here. Ken Mist, here's a volunteer, talk to volunteer. Ken Mist over at the red tail exhibit where you go into the air-conditioned movie and experience the whole Tuskegee Airman story. Ken drove down here from Canada and drives back tonight, and he said they'll be home Tuesday. That's dedication.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe Doug and Mr. Mulligan are going to set up for our photo pass. This is a great opportunity. Stand up, get out your cameras, and welcome back in our champion. Again, a celebration, 90th anniversary of Mulligan, and another first coming up.
Now we're another first with Doug turn around, and I have to go upside down to get it back to me. The controls are all backwards.
Yes. And there is Mr. Mulligan and Doug Rosenthal. And of course, Prime Air, the 737 taking off and landing somewhere in the world every 4 minutes. How popular that's been. And on the grass, he's going to shut it down. And you know what? We can probably hear it. You can. Oh, he's behind these big rocks.
I'm flying away, and I'm good. I turn around, and I have to go upside down to get it back to me. The controls are all backwards.
Yes. And there is Mr. Mulligan and Doug Rosenthal. And of course, Prime Air, the 737 taking off and landing somewhere in the world every 4 minutes. How popular that's been. And on the grass, he's going to shut it down. And you know what? We can probably hear it. You can. Oh, he's behind these big round engines.
The Decathlon traces its roots back to the Aramco train. But what it may lack in performance, it makes up for in grace. It requires muscle, athleticism, and a lot of rudder. There's no hiding your mistakes.
and pilots performing here at Fun and Fun. He developed a passion for aerobatics through radio-controlled flying, where he started competing at the age of 16. RJ even represented the U.S. on the world stage in indoor precision and freestyle aerobatic championships. RC flying gave RJ a strong background for the world-class aerobatic flying you're seeing right now. And has logged more than 1,000 hours. How's that for up and coming? In this sky. Follow him on Instagram at RJ Gritter. That's RJ Gritter, and he will share your photos here at Fun and Fun. Ladies and gentlemen, the hesitation point roll.
Doesn't have a big RC box if you're doing a flight.
No,
it's so low to the ground.
And the precision, I love seeing all of the colors.
He is such a good pilot.
A very special thanks to Garmin Aviation, proud sponsor of RJ Gritter Airshow. From the Garmin pilot app to his panel-mounted avionics, Garmin guides RJ through Lakeland skies and makes cross countries from show to show seamless with the best in situational awareness. Would also like to thank Horizon Hobby, Taco Aero, Tempest Aero Group, Hartzell Goodyear, Wheeland Aerospace Technologies, Air Knocker Aviation, Air Tech Coatings, Acme Aero, B&C Specialty Products, Hooker Harness, our Aircraft Spruce, Cam Guard, Method 7, and Aeroline Designs, who is responsible for the gorgeous new paint scheme. The support of these industry leaders allows RJ to fly at the top of his game. Diving in, coming down, the low, slow roll. Let's hear it for RJ Critter.
Absolutely incredible. I had my camera, I know Tabitha up here was videoing and taking pictures, so I can't wait to see what you have captured. Again, follow RJ at RJ Gritter.
I was looking the other way.
And the altitude management again.
The lines in this area
Slow
are
roll.
really on it.
Feet on.
Even though it was the primary trainer for all the Luftwaffe pilots back in World War II, you have to respect the design. Its wings, its big round engine. Look at that, one way, then the other.
Nice.
Back and forth again. Look at that. And what a joy it is to fly. According to data. You can see how he has been the recipient of the Airshow Showmanship Award. 2019 he got that. We know him here in the twin-engine airplane that he has flown in the past, turning the engine off for the engines, doing this powerless landing. Some of the other terrific flying he's done over the years.
Debuting here at Sun and Fun, it was 1940, young Meister.
Fossil Kingdom Lake, Texas, flying this unique air show beautifully. In the Swiss markings.
His grandfather and his dad both were airline pilots. It's in his blood. His interest in flying started at a very early age. He started flying with his father in their 1959 K-model Bonanzas. He was 12. David did his first aerobatics with his grandfather in the 1941 Fleet biplane. His grandfather from Barnstormer era insisted that David learn aerobatics as part of his basic flight training. We're glad he did. His high school graduation present was an aerobatic course with the famous Dwayne Cole in the 1980s. He joined the Texas Air Guard, graduated pilot training, F4 training, and the F-16, and he's also flown the Jenny. What a career, to be able to say that you've flown the Jenny, and you've flown the F-16, and look at that snap. I mean, that's just amazing to watch. The joy he must feel when he does that with those inputs and it kicks around. It gets you excited, it makes you want to learn aerobatics. Find out how to do something like that. But that airplane is just strikingly beautiful, especially in the blue sky today. He started to seriously pursue competition aerobatics in '94, purchased an extra, flew competitions, changed to a CAP 232 in '99, was the United States aerobatic team lead for years, competed in 8 world and 2 European championships, and in 2001 he won the United States Aerobatic and World Air Games in Spain. Love the way the wings are bent back. Big fuselage, big round engine, robust landing gear. Great as a trainer. And again, he is, I mean, how many pilots can say they've flown everything from a 1917 Jenny to modern day fighters. And again, demonstrating the snap roll capabilities, slow roll now. Oh, inverted, wait a minute. He's giving you a wave if he feels he can. But there we go, both hands out, both hands out. Giving you a wave, inverted, and then rolling it back over again. David Martin, out of Texas. A joy to have him here again to help us celebrate our 50th anniversary at Sun and Fun.
it is my pleasure to introduce you to one of the aviation's most popular and accomplished pilots, Patty Wagstaff. Patty is thrilled to be flying here today at Sun and Fun 2024. Patty has won many awards for her flying, including being inducted into the National Aviation Hall of Fame. She is a three-time U.S. National Aerobatic Champion, a six-time member of the U.S. Aerobatic Team, competing in Olympic-level international competition, and a six-time winner of the Betty Skelton First Lady of Aerobatics Award. She has received both the National Aerospace Museum for Current Achievement and the US Air Force Lifetime Achievement Award. Her airplane, the Extra 260 that she flew to become the first woman to win the US Nationals, is on display in the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum located in Washington, D.C.
You think of the changes she has seen over the 50 years we've been celebrating here at Sun and Fun. She hosted the Women in Aviation Breakfast on Wednesday, and thrilled to see from a handful of women 50 years ago coming to Sun and Fun to talk about aerobatics and flying in general, to thousands that she has met here this weekend as those numbers begin to change in a good way. She is so warmed by all of that. A Pathfinder, Patty Wagstaff, and she's dropping down now, Brittany, because lower to the ground, she's going to do something really interesting.
We're really excited. If you look straight out on the runway, you will see some ribbons down there and a couple people in some green vests. There are two poles with a ribbon in between, and if we're lucky, Rick, and if she's feeling good, we're gonna see if she can cut that ribbon in half. But here's the trick. We're not sure if she's gonna do it right side up or upside down.
One thing for sure is she's going to look at it a few times. She's going to line it up. She might even fly 100 at first if she's feeling confident. Taking a real good look at it and then pulling up down. She's getting it all set up so that she can get it on the first attempt, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. Patty Wagstaff falling like a leaf right now. Look at that. Talk about control. Some of the simplest looking things are the hardest to do. And then continue to roll now. As again she winds up looking down at that ribbon just less than 20 feet from the ground. She has a terrific book. I read it years ago, and she's working on a second one now. Because she's got so many stories to tell. They're all inspiring. Dad was an airline pilot, Japan Airlines. Another story, here to power that extra 332 that she loves to fly.
The 330 SC that you see is truly a choice for world aerobatic champions, certified to plus and minus 10 Gs. Patty's Extra has a 350 horsepower Lycoming AEIO 580 engine driven by the latest NT propeller. As she comes down, smoke is on. Oh, she's giving a tease, going right above. I think that's her opportunity to glance down over her left shoulder and make sure the pole's in place.
She misses nothing. She's tried all sorts of flying too. Oh, right through them. Somebody's got the money shot of Patty there with the moon up there. You don't even need a huge lens for that one. Patty has flown firefighting. She likes the Bronco airplane, the OV-10. She just loves that airplane. Taking another look at that ribbon. Aerobatic airplanes and her mentorship teaching as far away as Kenya to help with poaching over there to get the Rangers able to fly and look out for the poachers. Because she loves animals. And now I think
We might be lined up. Let's watch Upside Down, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye on Patty. Look at the ribbon. She's coming in closer and closer. Will she get it? Yes! Round of applause. Hands up in the air. Let me see you wave. There we go. Absolutely incredible. Now, when Patty's not flying Airshow, she runs Patty Wagstaff Aviation Safety in St. Augustine, Florida, providing aerobatic, airmanship, upset training for levels of all pilots from private to corporate. You can see the precision as she flipped upside down, hanging by her harness, looking for a ribbon.
rolling left, turning right. One of her trademark maneuvers. Rolling left, turning right. Imagine the inputs going on here as she's and maintaining altitude. You got to remember that too. And an outstanding flying, her trademark, really. Patty Wagstaff. A true legend of aviation in this great nation. Gravity always wins, but she fights all the way back in that tail slide. And that was a long one, very, very well done. But then again, you get used to saying that when you watch her fly. Zero G over the top as she pushes. Just floats, sliding around now. Leading off some energy and having a lot of fun. It is, after all, fun and fun. And Patty's been a big part of this too over the past 50 years.
Now you have the opportunity to follow Patty Wagstaff. She is very active on Instagram, so be sure to check out Patty Wagstaff. And you can also find her online at pattywagstaff.com, and you can check out her incredible merchandise as well.
Setting up for her last maneuvers before we convince her to land. It's Patty Wagstaff. Give her away.
Patty is proud to be sponsored by the best aviation companies in the world. She would like to thank them because without them, she would not be here flying with you today. MT Propeller, the winner's propeller, maker of the finest performance and noise-reducing propellers. Bose, the best in aviation noise reduction technology in headsets. Look at that, there's the wave. She's having so much fun, she wanted to wave again. We absolutely love it. As we continue on with our sponsors, Fun Aerospace, world leader in aerospace mission and power systems. Concord
The
Gas,
Delaware Aviation
the
Museum, a rare
finest
opportunity. Off offering the chance to experience not only you seeing it fly, but a chance to fly in it next weekend as the aircraft stays in Florida. We will tell you more about that. But right now, the story that they're telling. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941, President Roosevelt ordered the military to devise a plan to attack the Japanese home islands. During the first months of World War II, the news from the Pacific was only that of defeat after defeat. The morale of the American public and the military in the Pacific was at its lowest point. News of the fall of Bataan and surrender of thousands of American troops dominated the news. B-25 bombers from the aircraft carrier and attacked Tokyo and 4 other Japanese industrial centers. Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Doolittle was tasked with planning that raid. Without knowing their target or destination, the 17th Bomb Group volunteered for this top-secret mission and began training right here in Florida at Lakeland Field. This is a tribute to those men, 16 B-25s, 80 men, 1 mission, payback for Pearl Harbor, and they got it done. You'll see some of the bomb strafing runs that were done in the B-25 as the bomb bay doors open again. That's how it was done. The original plan was to sail to within 300 miles of Japan and launch the raid. But the task force was spotted 650 miles out. And the decision was made to launch early, knowing that the crews might not have enough fuel after bombing Japan to reach their designated refueling airfield in China. No airplanes or crew were lost as targets in or near Tokyo, and the other cities were bombed. 1 B-25 experienced excessive fuel consumption, turned north after dropping its bombs, and landed in Russia, where the crew were interned. Finding a favorable tailwind, the other 15 B-25s made it to China. But now at night and in very stormy weather, unable to find the airfield in bad weather, the crews bailed out or they ditched their aircraft. 2 men drowned after ditching. 1 died and his parachute malfunctioned. 8 were captured. 3 of these were executed by the Japanese. 1 died from severe malnutrition. 4 came home victims of torture and solitary confinement for 3.5 years. 56 raiders found themselves behind Japanese lines in occupied China. Friendly Chinese peasant farmers and militia assisted these airmen to evade the rampaging Japanese troops, who were infuriated and humiliated by American bombers bombing their capital. Japanese troops massacred an estimated 250,000 Chinese civilians in reprisals for the assistance given these young American airmen. Suddenly the headlines go across America, boldly celebrating American bombers hit Tokyo. Imagine the boost of morale of the American public and the military. Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Doolittle was promoted to Brigadier General and awarded the Medal of Honor. All of the Raiders were given the Distinguished Flying Cross. For years, the Raiders held a reunion on the anniversary of the raid. They drank a toast to those that are gone from their now famous silver goblets. Panchito has had the honor of participating in those reunions. Sadly, they are all gone now. But thanks to the flight of this and commemorations of the B-25 like this one, we will never forget, and they will always be remembered. Brittany, of course, Panchito is an interesting story in itself.
It was here that the B-25J serial number was assigned to Captain Don Sealer of the 396th Bomb Squadron. Captain Sealer named his new plane Panchito after
Once
the
again,
feisty Mexican.
look at how beautifully maintained she is, polished, absolutely gorgeous. The B-25 Panchito helping us remember the Doolittle raid. That aircraft type, superb in its design, modified throughout the war. In operations modifications made it even better. Mid-bar and the B-25, just as beautiful sight, especially here in the sun today. Panchito is 13 50 caliber machine guns. It carries 3,000 pounds of bombs, depth charges, incendiary bombs. Other bombs that you could see if you saw it on Sag Display, but also when the bomb bay doors were open, signed by the surviving Raiders too. Some very special signatures in there. A lot of the men that flew and even some of the women that ferried B-25s during the Second World War, proudly carried every weekend by Panchito, the B-25, setting up for recovery. And we thank the team for coming all the way from Delaware to show her off. For the landing of the tricycle landing gear, the B-25. Panchito. RJ Gritter's going to head on home in just a moment. Patty Wagstaff is on the airplane, and I didn't get a chance to tell you all about it. Please give it up for Patty Wagstaff. We have celebrated not only our Army and Navy and the Marine Corps and the Space Force and the Air Force, but also the Coasties, the Coast Guard. We thank them for being in our 50th anniversary celebrations. Did you finish your funnel cake? Are you going to be all right to do the narration after that? I'm on a sugar rush. I'm good.
He needs more time for that funnel cake.
I was going to say, it certainly sounded like it. Oh, geez. No, that's not good. The Air Boss is having a little discussion with him right now because we just want to be sure. Let us begin. Joined by folks like Major Zach Beagle from Juneau, Alaska, Captain Carson Boogle, Park City, Utah, and Technical Sergeant Ray Dillingham from Bangor, Maine. They're all based out of Fairchild Air Force Base, Washington, and we're happy to have them here today to celebrate the 50th anniversary as a demo pilot after being one of the, well, this year, 2,900 volunteers. How cool is that?
The mission of the KC-135 Stratotanker provides the core aerial refueling capability for the US Air Force and has excelled in this role for more than 60 years.
And do you know that this is the 100th anniversary? This year marks 100 years of refueling history. I can't help myself, passing gas for 100 years, but they carry on board, can carry up to about 200,000 pounds of fuel, or about 30,000 gallons. They can take off with a total gross weight of 322,500 pounds. The KC-135 demonstration team is going to show us how it's done by flying the boom and flying some nice low passes under the command again of Chad Smith from Lakeland, Florida. I don't care what you say about the KC-135. You've seen the lightning and the fighters. I think it's a sexy thing.
Yeah.
And the job it has done and continues to do is so important. The KC-135 Stratotanker. Contains material in the 8 main landing gear wheels and nose wheels equivalent to 100 car tires. Constructed with almost... Four Pratt & Whitney fan jet engines. Each weighs about 6,100 pounds, capable of developing 18,000 pounds of thrust. Fat, chunky. Only 4 degrees of roll to play with because those engines are so big and chunky. So he has to be precise, and this is how they do it. Look how precise. He keeps that big and chunky airplane just inches from the ground all the way down the runway. So no wonder it's his day in Lakeland and it's his day here. Set it back up on the ground. Again, 4-degree bank limitation on landing to prevent the engine scraping on the ground. And actually, I was wrong. I've been corrected now. This is the 101st anniversary of passing gas.
This is the best thing about Sun and Fun. We learn something new every day. Another component that I found out about the KC-135 is some of the aircraft have been configured with multi-point refueling systems. And here we go, waiting for the touchdown.
Yeah, there's the main gear. Oh, that's a beauty. That is a beauty. Chad Smith, Lakeland, Florida, EAA, and of course, volunteer right here, starting at the age of 7, and his dream coming true to demonstrate at Sun and Fun during our 50th anniversary.